I would like to introduce the moderator for the technology panel, Mr. Raed Al-Lawati. Raed is an expert in digital transformation and information technology. Please do come on stage. I'd like to introduce the panelists. Mr. Salim Abdul Latif, GM of Marketing at Oman. Mr. Saeed Al-Mandari, CEO of ITCA. Engineer Mubarak Al-Sawafi, Executive Manager, Radio Spectrum Services, TRA Oman. Mr. Mansour Al-Ajmi, CEO of Major Rail, Saudi Arabia. Engineer Maqbool Al-Wahabi, CEO, ODP.
Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and esteemed participants. It's with a great pleasure that I welcome you to the Gulf Business Summit, a remarkable gathering of minds and the crossroads of technology and innovation. In an era defined by rapid digitization and digitalization, this summit serves as a beacon of progress, emphasizing the pivotal role that technology plays in driving economic development. The first question to Telecommunication Regulation Authority: given Oman's impressive strides in embracing technology and innovation across various sectors, particularly in bridging the digital divide and promoting digital literacy, what strategic initiatives and partnerships is TRA actively pursuing to ensure equitable access to high-speed internet and digital education opportunities, especially in remote regions of the Sultanate? And how do you envision these efforts contributing to Oman's continued progress and prosperity in the digital era?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much. And also I would like to thank the organizer for inviting TRA to this event. Concerning your questions about the expansion and making the broadband services available, especially in the remote areas, TRA actually has realized the importance of having the broadband services available in the country, and having the access to the broadband services will enable the residents and the citizens in the Sultanate to enjoy the digital revolution towards enabling them to the online government services and e-learning and other application. And also to, as you have mentioned, is to close or to minimize the digital divide, and that was achieved through many initiatives, and I want to highlight some of them. And I would like to start with the initiative that was done to enhance the mobile broadband and the coverage in the remote area. And this was to build more than 300 sites as part of the initiative that TRA has agreed with the operator based on spectrum refarming and spectrum award. This initiative covered more than 400 villages and areas that were not covered before. And also to make incentive to the operator, TRA has also worked with the government to waive the fee of the spectrum as incentive for the mobile operator. Also, I want to mention that one of the things that was done is it's true that these sites were built by like different operators, but in order to enhance and to make the networks available for all the people, national roaming was applied in all these sites. One also of the important initiative is AFAQ. AFAQ, the aim of the initiative of this initiative is to provide the telecom service and broadband services in more than 600 villages and more than 140 schools. And these areas and the schools, they were not having the telecom services, and the timing of this initiative was very critical because it was initiated at the start of the pandemic, and it was very critical to have such an initiative, and this was subsidized by the government and was started in 2020 and will continue for 10 years. Currently, we are working with the operators, and this is also another initiative that TRA is working to upgrade the backhauling for the VSAT site in order to enable delivering 4G and 5G networks in the areas that they are not covered. And we think that will be a big improvement that will enable people in these areas to enjoy the broadband services. We have already started, and we have 11 sites that already has moved from the 2G and 3G network to 4G. And of course, those sites were connected with the fiber, which means that they will, enabling 5G and maybe in the future 6G will be possible in this site. So all of these initiatives, of course, will contribute to expanding the broadband services and also to enable the people to enjoy and to have possibility to practice or enjoy the online services that are projected in the long run. I also want to mention that maybe you have heard in the news that a new license was issued for Starlink, and this will also help to deliver high broadband services for the areas that are not yet having high speed of broadband. So that's some of the initiatives. Of course, there are so many others, but just for the sake of the time, maybe we can come back later.
Sure, thank you. Good insights. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Mansour, the Kingdom's Vision 2030 is a pivotal part for Saudi Arabia's transformation into a knowledge-based economy rooted in technology and innovation. Can you share your insights on how your company's products and services align with the goal of Vision 2030, and if any of those can be possibly imported?
طيب شكرا لك. First of all, I'm happy today to be here in Oman between family and friends. I hope inshallah such sessions and initiative to continue with further materialization of cooperation between the two countries. Second, regarding the question, definitely for us as a company, when the vision came, like any other company, we realized that yes, we need now to go back, check our service offering, how can we reshuffle the offering, how can we tailor what we do in order to contribute heavily and accelerate this kind of initiatives. So basically we work into three vertical. The first one, which is the innovation, that we need to change our classical way operating the government and semi-government project by adopting cutting-edge technologies. So we went into the artificial intelligence, RPA, in order to help us optimizing the efficiency and the operation. And this really helped us to increase the accuracy, speed of service, and also the customer experience at the same time. On top of that, also we worked hard and we did so many sessions in order to capitalize on the data itself, data management. So to link it with all the activities, either to analyze what was happening, to help the decision makers to make data-driven decisions. And also helped us in the prediction and forecast of the future regarding the demand, the need, the rush hours, the rush days of the year. The third thing, which is we did also, is like helping to promote the entrepreneurship in the country. We understand to diversify the economy, they create a lot of job, and they have so many beautiful ideas that help the consumer. Then we change our offering also to have kind of lean services that include, let's say, light overhead, where we can really reduce our selling price to them, and eventually they can also offer the same to their end user in a professional way, where they can really maintain their customer base and grow faster. And we help them also to, hopefully we see them unicorn in the future. So with the adoption of, let's say, quickly the technology, using the data, helping the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the country, that was how we shaped ourselves in order to cope and order to continue with the new vision.
Quite impressive after refining the vision and then reacting that quickly, actually, even to the market. Fantastic. Thank you very much. I have a question to Mr. Saeed with regard to the, for example, there are a lot of industries, specifically maybe oil and gas, but also others that are embracing the digitization powered by artificial intelligence. Can you provide examples how technology and innovations are enhancing the efficiency and safety, maybe in the oil and gas and maybe other sectors as well?
Yes, yes, definitely. One of the trends which is happening right now is that the technology is not actually affecting one sector. It's the integration between the sectors which is having a more effect than having or implementing a technology in a sector-based. The reason for that is that the knowledge-based or the integration of the data is becoming to be, or the normalization of this data, and the wave which have been transformed from being the data lakes or the collection of the data, then the wave of or the technologies which came later on for machine learning and the deep learning. Today we're talking about inferencing, which is al-istinbat, which is all other platforms built on like open AI. So this is it is more and beyond a sector. It's about how to integrate all the information from different sources and then build a knowledge, and from this knowledge come up with a pattern. And from this pattern now, the new wave is that a prediction, and there's this intelligent prediction which can make a better decisions, even better than the human. In one aspect, this is affecting the efficiency of the work, the performance, adding more revenue, but as well is adding that the human would be more focusing on the innovation and higher innovation. We used to waste the time of the people on repetitive tasks. Today, it's not true that the technology is replacing the people, is uplifting let's say enhancing the skills of the people to do better jobs, and therefore lots of people debating that open AI like ChatGPT and other technologies should be adopted within the universities, because that would lift up the students to think about something which is not available, and that's the way towards. So this is happening the same. It's not anymore a sector specific. It is all aspects of the life, how this is integrated to come up with a better results. An example of this, today there is a big integration between logistics and oil and gas. This is only an example of two sectors. We cannot speak about only one sector if we don't integrate it with the logistic. An example that's whenever is the ships have been affected when the COVID have happened, oil and gas and manufacturing have been affected as well. So we're talking about an integrated sectors, an integrated amount of data exchange between all other, and the better the integration and the platform which gets all of these data collected, the better results and outcome. And that's why now the billions of the deals of which has been done by the hyperscalers to buy companies for billions and billions of amounts of dollars, is because how much of data I can acquire in order for me to monetize it later on. This is a very long-term vision with big investments objectives to have it monetized later on and to control the stream of the data between all other sources, and then to dominate some of the sectors. Therefore, the government have to adapt always the strategy of the data. The data should be one of the main sectors of diversification, and then the regulation or the policies behind how to control the data and to protect it within the country is the way to have it better monetized in the future.
I tend to concur that, you know, the data is going to become definitely either the oil or the gold of the future. Mr. Maqbool, with regard to Oman, Oman has a significant investment in information technology infrastructure, resulting in a widespread digital accessibility. How has the digital transformation impacted the business landscape, especially for technology companies operating in Oman?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. And going back to data as the new oil, that's maybe a common thing we have with the oil industry today. Otherwise, we are always seen as one of those guys who are pressurizing the sectors and boring them to death with technologies. But technology is very much interesting nowadays, especially with the establishment of full-fledged connectivity. Before we move there, it's going to be an honor for me to introduce the audience about what we do. So in Oman, we have a company called Oman Data Park. And Oman Data Park is established in 2012. It's owned 100% by Omantel. It's an investment by Omantel in the area of data center and data center services. I'm proud to say that today we are seen as an enabler in the space of cloud. So we provide cloud services out of our data centers. And we have like 5 data centers today across the Sultanate. We provide services from consultancy, which is the pre-sale aspect, to help corporates understand exactly what do they need to cloudify and what do they need to have it on-prem, so that they can actually put the right investment in the right place. And then we move them into the hosting aspect, so we host their application, we host their hardware, if you may think of, and we operate it, we manage it. From technology perspective, 24/7 network operation center is there, and from cybersecurity perspective, with our cybersecurity team who operates in a SOC 24/7. Now we also exist because we need to fulfill the data residency aspect of the country. A lot of these data, without a company like Oman Data Park, will actually migrate internationally, which is sometimes not welcomed by nations, especially in critical sectors like the oil and gas, like the utility sector, BFSI sector, and the government sector. We also exist because we provide an economy of scale to corporates, whereby corporates will still have IT infrastructure from an application and hardware perspective. Resiliency is there, quality of service is there, and less cost. Their investment over 5 years, if they host it in a place like Oman Data Park, there is an average of 43% reduction in a total cost of ownership of 5 years. Instead of doing it themselves, which we call it on-prem. So that's again an added value from an operational expenses perspective. From a CapEx, A lot of scenarios, they would barely put any capital investment. So there is, I would say, not zero capex, but very minimum capex required. And the other thing is that the pay as you grow, as you go, and as you grow as well. So you pay for what you need rather than actually acquiring a lot of these technologies on-prem and incur depreciation cost. And a lot of these hardware and software might not be really utilized to the spot. And you will be paying more than what you need. So that's what the value added that Oman Data Park provides. So we provide infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, plus cybersecurity. And going back to the question regarding what kind of maybe influence the readiness of our infrastructure in Sultanate of Oman had on us, and that's also true for other nations, to be honest with you. Alhamdulillah, Oman government, TRA, telecommunication providers like Omantel and other incumbent, Oman Broadband and others, have really geared up very well in order to reach every single citizen in this country, every single school, every single hospital, every single house, and connect them to the grid, the digital grid. And that's also true for corporates like us, where we are connected to this digital grid. The benefit is, you know, endless. Basically, we are operating on what we call an open business model today, rather than a closed business model in the past. So basically, a lot of these open business model brings fruits like buy now, pay later aspect, like pay as you need. There is also the software as a service and infrastructure as a service that is provided from corporates like us. It also leveraged on the fact of how best we can serve our customers, because we are very much connected, we are very much processing the data online, we are very much providing decision on the spots online using various decision support systems. Today, artificial intelligence is there to provide you with means of you know, reachability and means of how smart you can serve your customer and how can you serve your customer better. There is also the cybersecurity aspects where you actually need to be on the spot, online, zero-day protection mechanisms has to be in place in order to secure your own infrastructure and infrastructure of others. All these parameters and values wouldn't be of a possible without this kind of full-fledged connectivity. Now, from an international perspective, today we don't actually operate within the country, and that we operate globally. So the globalization aspect is a factor that had uplifted a lot of corporates to serve international markets. In a way, you are actually, yes, in a way, the opportunities are endless. The other aspects also, you are seen as competing not only locally with local companies, but internationally with international players. So that's, again, a positive and negative side of the story. So I think with connectivity, there are endless kind of ecosystem partnership you can also leverage on. So today we have partners from the northern part of the globe and the southern part of the globe. That wouldn't have been possible without actually connecting to the digital grid and making it easy and making it very much fast, using all various local and international connectivity provided by the telecom providers, especially the submarines cables that Oman today enjoys. Oman seems to be in the forefront, and I think it's one of the top nations that enjoys submarine cables from north and south of the globe. And that had connected not only Oman, but connected the whole GCC with it, and the MENA region as well, the Middle East and North Africa. That is a positive advantage to corporates in the GCC, like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Oman, and other GCCs in order to flourish their partnership ecosystem globally.
Thank you. Mr. Salim, Mr. Maqbool touched upon cybersecurity. And the digital divide and cybersecurity are challenges in Oman's technological journey. How can technology and telecom companies, with maybe specificity of Omantel and Omantel ICT, to bridge the digital divide and enhance cybersecurity measures in the country?
Thank you. First thing, I would like to ask you a question. How much time do you have?
That's a question to the organizers.
Okay. Let me first start about, we are a country that actually has quite big ambitions into development and diversifying our economy and improving our services for citizens, for residents, improving the way we attract investments and so on. So for to be able to do that, there are some very basic hygiene factors that we need to take care of. One of them, of course, is the regulation and creating laws and regulations that allows that aspect and allowing people to come in. The other aspect of it is creating the infrastructure that allows such industries and services to flourish. By that industries, first of all, we start off by the most basic one is creating a network layer, fiber and wireless and so on. With Omantel, we've got, I'm sorry to brag, but we've got next to second to none width and breadth of our network into the country. And of course, we work with our partners such as ITCA Group through OBB and so on to bridge that part. On top of that, then the other aspect of it is actually for people to be able to host their application, host their services and so on. And that's, for example, companies such as ODP, where it comes in, and it's actually our cloud arm of Omantel. And it's actually, it's always a pleasure to hear Maqbool talking about ODP. We feel very proud about it. On top of that, actually, once you have all these aspects, what you need to do is very important, is actually making sure all these assets, be it connectivity or data or the data centers, are to be secured. And there are certain certifications that actually requires for you to be able to guarantee that. For example, ODP is, or Oman Data Park rather, is not only has a number of certifications, including the one from Ministry of MTCIT, and in addition to some other international accreditations. Omantel as well, on our network connectivity, we do actually have a number of certifications from international, including ISO 27702 and others, to ensure the security and resilience of our network. So the importance of that is quite critical. Once you enable these things and people feel safe about your network and your capabilities, then the other aspect comes in where you allow innovation to come in and fostering it. Mr. Saeed mentioned earlier about the investment into the startups and so on, enabling and fostering them to go in. At Omantel, we've taken a similar path, but we've also done something else. We've established in 2022 the Omantel Innovation Labs. Omantel Innovation Labs is an accelerator for young startup companies, where we actually come in, provide services to them, help them, mentoring, giving them the skills where they need, while they can focus on what they do best: innovate, find solutions. That program is not only available to startups and so on, but Omantel also provides it to its own employees to be able to foster development and innovation. So from that perspective, as a telecom operator, our role is very significant. Similar to your colleagues earlier from the energy sector, where they were saying they're the enablers. We too are the enablers for this economy to grow and prosper and diversify. What we also bring on top of all that infrastructure is our relationships with not only domestic, regional, but also international and hyperscalers, where we can come and work together and bring industry-specific or customer-specific solutions. And of course, the most important part is the matter of scale. How can we scale? How can we make sure that actually it is efficient? Because if everyone goes independently, it becomes a counterproductive and counterintuitive for to be able to move forward and innovate.
Thank you very much for the insights. Mr. Mansour, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the pursuit of technological advancement is met with definitely a number of challenges. Significantly, I would assume that the skills, technological skills and professionals, and the need of thriving to thrive the startup ecosystem. How did your company and majorly Saudi Arabia address these challenges while seizing the growth prospects and opportunities presented?
Great. First, the skill issue, and that since the beginning, since I came into IT, since I graduated, I heard this, that we have challenge, shortage in technology, shortage in experience. But that used to be CTO and CIO problems. Now, because technology, as Mr. Said said, is everywhere, so the shortage of the technological people is touching everybody in the organization. So this is what created the heat now. Actually, what we did, and I think this is also the practice that followed by so many people. First, definitely, we took care of the talent, let's say, acquisition and skill development programs that even we can take from fresh grad, and we make really different sectors and different courses in order to make sure we certify people. This is something to be continuous, but is not, let's say, the thing that will last. We also try to partner with the government, and I'm sure this is something also here is happening. The heat also, alhamdulillah, yani, on the other side, government created so many initiatives that helped us to subsidize the cost of the training, partnership with universities and some colleges, that really we can, not only for the technical, let's say, skills, even for the soft skills, for the personality training, all these kind of efforts, that we were really careful to keep eye on it in order to really get benefit out of these initiatives and have accessibility in any fund opportunity that can be offered. So keeping our programs, talent acquisition, and also participating with any government initiatives, that helped us to keep, let's say, a track with our resources to be ahead. And something really major that I urge every leaders to do it, which is the localization and knowledge transfer. We work with multinational vendors. We purchase the technology, but some of the vendors, they don't have the self-initiative to create academy, to develop local talents, which is definitely will lead to a shortage of purchase to their solution system and license. So for us as leaders, we have to really push hard in order to localize even level 1 support for any technology that we purchase and create local capacity in order with time that we can elevate or uplift our skill in the technology arm. That's what we did actually. And yes, it's a race that will continue.
Thank you very much. Sorry to the organizers, but one last question to Mrs. Said. Mrs. Said, what are some of the investment opportunities in the technological, again, I can't call it sector as it crosses between sectors, but in the technology in these upcoming years?
As I said in the presentation, one of the main criteria is to focus on your investments. So we, in Oman, we have done a bit of survey of the priorities of investments, because we have a limited amount of investments which we have to focus it, and then the remaining has to be collaborated with others. So we're investing heavily on those who will achieve our true north of highest product for exports and more jobs. And we have identified 5 segments in there, namely artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, drones, and cloud services. Most of these are the main investments, and we cannot specifically focus on those because, as I said previously, the technologies are evolving together and are so much integrated together. But the most important thing is that we just put our investment on those domains so that we can achieve the best out of our investments. Today, we believe, unlike the other revolutions which happens before revolution first and second and third, we used to say that companies or countries who don't invest in technologies could lag behind. In the fourth industrial revolution, it's a bit different. If you don't invest, you might vanish. You don't exist. The reason is that mostly your sovereignty, siyada, can be exposed. And if you don't have any sovereignty, your value will be vanished. And therefore, you will not have any space on this. So the more investments we do specifically on the technologies and finding, we would not catch up all the investments, but we are really focusing on those domains which we feel that the human capital in Oman is capable of doing. As I said, I haven't named cybersecurity because cybersecurity is considered for us as an infrastructure, so it's a must. So that investment is already it's taken for granted. But as I was talking about the 5 other domains which is considered as emerging technologies in there.
Thank you very much for this team of panelists.